worse than normal though.
Yeah.
Like I felt like if they had a really good like in that game would have been over in minute 20.
If they had a bamboo like in it.
No, I'm not a Lycan player. I actually hate that hero.
All right, here we go. Draft number 3 then for the all-important place in the grand final. Can Liquid make it 5 finals in the first half of 2016?
OG gotta feel good though. They beat the Nake's Lifestealer and Ricky combo.
But did they lose a coin flip?
10 seconds remaining.
This one was actually OG with first pick and Liquid then going dire.
Radiant team pick.
And there's the first phase. So again, Liquid is not going to let Crit beat them 2 games in a row. The Phoenix and the Elder Titan band.
There's always our spirit.
It's true.
Is that their first pick though?
I don't know.
It has been in the past.
I would say
yeah, they have been.
10 seconds remaining.
I still think Nake's is prioritized.
5 seconds
There you
remaining.
go.
Yeah.
And it hasn't. I mean, it doesn't give a huge amount away, does it?
No.
Well, but it leaves the Nakes and Ricky back on the table for Liquid. And
I was Liquid. I would literally pick the same things.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
There it
you go.
is.
Absolutely. I just, if you gave them that game to literally play over again, start to finish, I think they would take it happily.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be on the back of their mind, won't it? Nothing wrong with the draft. Nothing wrong with team composition. Just a few small execution errors and game goes the other
10
way.
seconds remaining. 5
Gonna be another
seconds
Beastmaster.
remaining.
Yeah, that's
Why not?
he's Matt Darkseer. I think the offlaner is a good pick here.
I think BM's a lot better versus it. But do they want to go for the same thing again? I don't know. If you were OG though, you wouldn't want to face the Riki and the Lifestealer again unless you had a better plan, because surely they did not feel too comfortable heading into the game, especially with the lead that League.
But if you beat them with it once, you'll kind of feel good about it. So
They had
you wanna do it
ET.
again.
I think ET was like a crucial part of that.
Yeah.
And Earth Spirit, even though
Spirit
he's
kind of fits the same role though. For Crit,
not
at
as
least.
OP, maybe, in Crit's hands. I think Crit's a better Elder Titan relatively than Earth Spirit. I don't know.
Oh,
I
I
guess
kinda
they're
equal.
They're
they're
that's
both
pretty
ridiculous.
close. Yeah, but the big thing is, OG, you just want to give yourself some options from range to be able to deal with Liquid jumping right on top of somebody with that smoke initiation, or smoke initiation out of invis with the Riki.
We all know you want it.
Yeah,
They're just teasing
just
us.
go for the standard thing here. Pick up your offlaner. I mean, the other thing they may be thinking about is Miracle's Hero, because your Invoker is probably going to get banned out in the second phase.
He can play a lot of things though.
It's true.
Like, it's not like everything that he could have played was banned out.
Exactly.
He's way more than.
And then if they pass up the Beastmaster, he gets banned second phase anyway.
Well, but
I assume.
You would just think.
you look at your young superstar player. Okay, they are going to go the safe option, but I think it's important that they put Miracle on a hero this game that he's very comfortable with.
They obviously spent a lot of time thinking about that though.
Yeah.
They should ban the Juggernaut right now, Liquid. I feel like it's a good counter to their stuff.
10 seconds remaining.
There you go.
Radiant
Completely
team
agree.
back.
And they didn't ban the Tide. Just basic.
Just basic.
No, I mean, it's exactly what they did in the previous draft. You give them Tide. I mean, we saw in Manila
10
just how
seconds
well the
remaining.
Riki Vision sets up that mind control Tide Hunter initiation.
5 seconds remaining.
I might even ban 2 mind control heroes here.
It's possible.
Team Liquid's turn to bat.
This is all looking very familiar.
They're really going hard though, banning the Fata heroes, and this is
Same as they did in the previous game though. Same 3 as well.
and there's the second phase
Radiant
jug ban.
team back.
Or sorry,
And the
Invoker
Invoker.
ban.
It's like almost exactly the same.
Yeah. Almost identical. At this stage, last time they banned 3 Fata heroes out of 4.
Right.
Well,
He
you
is-
make it
he
4
is-
out of 4.
He was their he was their highest farm
10
player at Manila.
seconds remaining.
He's been easily their impact player this
Yeah.
tournament.
Yeah, I think we often said, didn't we?
5
Where
seconds
is the
remaining.
superstar on Liquid, and he's kind of been the sleeper in the past. I think teams have started to finally realize they need to treat him with respect, and OG are certainly doing that.
Isn't it a bit worrisome that they only have 25 seconds left? And then they
Team Liquid's
ended up not banning the
turn to
Tide this
pick.
time.
I'm a little bit
I
surprised.
think it's actually a mistake.
Yeah, they banned the Darkseer over the Tidehunter.
Unless, of course, they realize that Ty's getting picked and they've got a plan.
Well, it's also the classic,
10
like,
seconds
Beastmaster has
remaining.
fallen a little bit in terms of team's valuation, largely because of the
5
Tide counter
seconds
pick.
remaining.
Are you gonna go stable,
Reserve
Lion again?
time.
Well, I guess if they pick Tide, you do still have Disruptor on the table, but
I still don't think that's a worthy trade, though.
I agree. I agree completely.
And doesn't Crit usually play Disruptor?
No, both
I'm sure
teams
both of them
both
can play
teams go back and forth with Disruptor.
Radiant team pick.
Okay, so exactly the same three as the previous game, in order.
Why change it if you know it?
Look, I didn't know that it was necessarily going to be exactly the same draft,
10
but
seconds remaining.
I think as Liquid, you look at that last game and you feel confident in the way that way you
5
play.
seconds remaining.
You play 2 fights differently, and you win that game going away.
Reserve time.
Okay. And this is
Team
this is
Liquid's
sort of what I had
turn
in my
to
head when
pick.
I was talking about you want to give yourself that second option from range to deal with Ricky and the Lifestealer jumping up on top of somebody. The Earth Spirit gives you one, the Dazzle gives you the other.
I think Dazzle's like the worst out of all of them. Because what if they just jump the Dazzle? Like Dazzle
10
can't do anything.
seconds remaining.
But then you jump to Dazzle. Like,
But still, like having a Dazzle out of the fight is so
5
crucial.
seconds remaining.
I mean, he can as long as he can get off weed before he dies. Which, granted, if he gets stuck in a cloud, it's not going to
Reserve
happen.
time.
But if they jump anyone else, he's pretty useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a play super safe.
Yeah, but that was one of their big strengths in Frankfurt. I thought the Fly's positioning on the Dazzle was something that was very underrated about their team play.
I kind of like the starter offlane though instead of the Tidehunter now. Because they have no way to deal with it with these current supports.
Seems like it might be in consideration as well. Plenty of time used on OG, by the way. They've got 16 seconds left, and they're going to go for the Slark.
It's actually a nice tier
Radiant
offlane.
team pick.
So, what is this? An offlane Lifestealer? Is this
Yeah.
mind control Lifestealer?
It's really strong if you get it in a right lineup.
Well, yeah, we've seen Newbie
10
run
seconds remaining.
KP offline Lifestealer. He actually built a Radiance against an AA.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
seconds
No,
remaining.
no.
I'm not calling for that here.
Don't they usually run it with like a Lich or something, though?
No, it's fine. Like it's actually really
Reserve
strong
time.
by itself.
10 seconds
But the Dazzle
remaining.
kind of destroys him though when he goes for a creep.
Right.
5 seconds remaining. Naga Siren.
Oh goodness.
Team Liquid's
And the
turn
collective
to bat.
groan from the crowd.
We're in it for the long one.
And again, you just look at now. OG have so many options. Each of their 4
10
heroes has
seconds
its own way
remaining.
of dealing with the initiation coming out from the Ricky and the Lifestealer. They jump
5
on top of
seconds
one.
remaining.
Any of the other 3 can go for a save.
They're not going to be together, though. Naga Siren's just usually doing her own thing. I actually think the Ricky
Reserve
Lifestealer is
time.
really good versus
Yeah.
it. But
The Lifestealer heroes need to be like a crown controller. They need to have like some
Radiant
impact
team
early game.
Yeah. In theory, Naga Siren's really good versus Lifestealer, just kiting him with a net.
Yep.
But I think in a normal situation, Naga Siren's going to be jumped on very early on and just slain
10
unless
seconds
Dazzle's nearby.
remaining.
But
I'm gonna say it again. I still love the puck for Liquid.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
is that a Zeus ban?
That's a Zeus ban. Thinking about you, dude.
Why would they say ban Zeus? Zeus wasn't picked at all during the major. Liquid does play it occasionally, but I think that's like when you really need good high ground
But
defense.
10 seconds
It's mostly the illusions.
remaining.
It's anti-illusions.
5
But it's kind of weird to pick
seconds
Naga against a Lion though.
Yeah.
Like that, like the same effect.
So we need a miracle hero.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Like they need something early. They can just run around and do their thing.
All right, what's our Fada hero?
A Quap or a Puck. It's actually insane for them.
Or DK.
You don't like DK?
No, you need to like do stuff. and DK is just...
You don't like the DK? No, you need to do stuff. Brilliant.
I don't know, man. I think they have a lot of
DK
deep stuff already.
Reserve time.
Such a DK hater, Bambo.
No,
I think what, like the Lifestealer off lane doesn't really, like, he's not a Beastmaster or a Titan. He can't like just start team fights for you.
Yeah, right.
And you need a mid hero that does what that off laner would normally do.
You need some initiation option beyond just the Ricky Lifestealer running in and popping. It'd be the Puck also makes sense as another vehicle for the Lifestealer.
So a Viper.
Ugh.
That is the opposite of himself.
It's actually not completely horrible, but ugh.
No, it was a joke.
I know.
So what are we going to get Fata here for the final game?
If it's Viper, I'm gonna kick you.
It won't be Viper. That'd be the worst reverse joke of all time.
I think Puck a little bit. I like Puck a little bit more.
Seconds remaining.
It's had some very poor win rates, of course, over the last few months, especially in the major as well. Instead, we'll go for the Magnus.
It's gonna kick it up an
That was a
notch.
nice crowd control.
Okay.
Okay. Ben, who's had the best draft heading into game 3?
I like Dyer's draft. I think the Naga Siren is just a little bit too slow, so I'll favor Liquid.
All right, very quickly, Alan.
I'm gonna stick by my guns. OG 2-1.
Bambo.
I actually think it's quite stable drafts, both of them, but I gotta go for Liquid.
Got to stick with your boys. All right, thank you all three of them. We'll hear more from our panel of experts at the end of this game. Let's find out who goes to the grand final with Liquid versus OG.
Indeed, here we have it, game 3 between the two of them. Interesting drafts, guys. Again, we're seeing stuff a little bit different. Miracle picking up the Tiny, and Liquid running the Mind Control Lifestealer, having as that dual call with Matuma Manslark, and then finishing out the whole draft with the Magnus. I mean, what are your thoughts?
I'm excited to see the Magnus, first of all.
Yeah, I think Jacob's just happy to see different hero picks because he was like, he's used the first 3 on both sides. He's like, all right, this is the same thing I've seen before. But very dramatic shift with the last 2 picks on both sides.
I mean, I'm personally not too excited about the Siren, but...
Well, sure, but I don't think anybody really is. Still, though, them switching it up, and the moment they picked up the Slurk, then you know it's an off-lane Lifestealer. Mind Control's done that before, and let's not forget the Curl was the one who innovated the 4-position Lifestealer, where you jungle back when you could just pick up level 6 and start jumping inside dragons. Of course, that was all the way back when they were just known as, I think, still Funf Jungs, and were battling it out against like lower tier 3, tier 2 teams. But
one of which was actually OG as well.
Yeah.
It was back in the day, back as Monkey Business, yeah.
That rivalry started very early on.
Yeah.
And here we have it now, kind of scaled up to be the best of the best now. OG versus Liquid. One of these teams is going to be going home, the other making it to the grand final to play up against either Navi or Vega, which of course will be the series after this one. But the lanes looking to come out from both sides. Obviously, Notal and Naga in the safe. Miracle towards the mid. I mean, overall, kind of lane-wise, is anyone going to have an easier time at the start here?
I think that Mind Control inevitably... I don't know, I guess his matchup isn't actually that terrible. He's got to be fiercely ensnare, but I don't think that's that big of a threat. I think he can actually sit in lane with the help of Kuro's Riki. We'll have to see how that works out. The mid lane matchup is kind of a spamming one where the Magnus should actually be able to do pretty well than most of the matchups you have a Magnus and the Tiny. Probably one of the easier heroes for Fada to be able to abuse. And then
it's definitely Moon who's going to have the hardest time again.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of getting to, is like Moon has to just auto jungle because the Slurk Lion is such a good kill combination that no offlaner can stand against.
Notice the change from last game. This time around, it's the same lane matchup that he's up against as last game, but last game he didn't win for the straight Iron Talon, and he died on level 2. This time around, he's just going to start in the jungle.
It's the safe place for Moon to be, indeed. And obviously seeing this Liquid, will this mean that we'll see some activity from the line, or does he still need to stay up there just in case rotations come through from Liquid onto the Slark?
he can pull and stuff. He could just try and get his level 2 before he rotates out. But it wouldn't be a bad idea to try and help out mind control, just because you know he's going to be feeling so much pressure. In fact, he almost dies there.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge amounts of harassment coming out from OG. Forcing the salve out already. KuroKy just kind of playing around with Moon. Moon will quick to turn around and just punch right back at the Ricky. KuroKy going to do his best to just sap some of the XP from this Beastmaster.
Yeah, Moon realizing there's 26 damage difference in their base attack, so exchanging hits with the Riki is definitely worthwhile.
Yeah, we've seen the whole Riki versus Beastmaster before, and the thing is that Beastmaster's actually okay as a jungler because he doesn't drop that low. He, like, I think Moon's taking a little bit of extra damage that he doesn't need to, but what you do is you just continually pull back and forth. The neutrals very rarely hit you, and you just allow your Iron Talon and the boars to do all of the work, and it means you're very healthy most of the time, and the Riki is never going to be able to find, like, that free kill that he would against other junglers, such as maybe the Axe, who drops kind of low.
He did soak up some of that experience being in the vicinity of the dying creeps, so
Yeah.
that was slightly annoying for a jungler.
Yeah, and just nice little neat play there from OG, just bringing out the bottle as well through the Earth Spirit, just not leaving any chance for KuroKy to get a courier snipe on the bottle delivery.
And he gets the bounty rune. So now you get away from Kuro as well. Ultimately, the just sapping experience is not enough. If you want to try and just be a little harassive and maybe get sap level 2, that's good enough. But eventually, Kuro has to think about other options. He has to try and rotate to the bottom lane, put some pressure on Fly, and open mind control a little bit of room for him to get some CS and level 6. Because then once they've got the level 6, then they actually have a kill combination where the offlane lifestealer becomes a viable threat.
I mean, at the moment, looking across the lanes, the mid lane matchup going, 12 for 1 for the Magnus against Miracle's 13 for 1. So very, very close between these two. The safe laners, it's definitely N0tail that's having the harder time. I mean, he's only sitting on an 8 CS compared to Matuma. Obviously, Matuma having the totally free lane, but N0tail falling a little bit behind in terms of farm, even though it's just a mind control lifestealer. As I say, that mind control's trying to go aggressive onto Fly. Crits there with the quick turnaround. Mind control even thinking about sticking around, trying to find the kill, but he's going to get caught out by the stun. He's got to run, rages it off as he tries to get himself away from OG.
He's got to roll in 2 seconds. He might go for the tower dive here. Be risky as hell, but yeah, he decides against it. I think they're just doing good enough. Mind control is very conservative on his rages too.
Yeah, but so good at pushing his luck and pushing his HP as well. You can see he knows he has those boosts of speed up against the 2 supports who do not. And thus he keeps on going back to hit them.
Underneath the sentry, Crit's coming with a rotation and they'll punish it. First blood for Crit. Nice reaction there. And a handsy sentry that have had it for a while, OG, setting up the kill onto KuroKy. And yeah, the Riki rotation not working out there for the time being.
It's okay, the Riki is going to come back, and I believe he now hooks up with Jerix. They've got level 3, almost level 4 on him. He's got boots and a smoke. I think this would be a prime time during nighttime for them to go for a gank on mid, see if they can shut down Miracle.
But already, that death defeats the entire purpose of what Riki tried to establish in the first 3 minutes of the game.
Oh, nice dodge by Miracle.
Miracle will still be able to grab this bounty rune. Fodder unable to take it. Top lane, Crit, trying to sell some of the XP. Jerix and Matuma, of course, this lane that they have had for free. And of course, because of this, now 4 minutes in, looking to take away the tier 1. See if OG want to do anything else about this. See if Crit can maybe get himself a sneaky deny. No, he's got to be careful. There's so much control between the two of them. He can't risk getting close to the line. So the game continues to go very nicely for Matuma Slot. Free lane, 32 CS and a tier 1 tower as well now, before the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, I don't think OG necessarily expected that to happen, for them to push the tower like that and time the wave.
It's something that Matuma very frequently does. I think it's something that Kuro really pushes on him, is that if you have the free lane, push pressure. Always put pressure. Even if you're not a carry that necessarily does it all that well, Slark, he still does it every single time he gets a free lane like this. It is particularly like Slark, because so many offlaners will abandon that lane. So you see him time and time again. He'll just chip away the tier 1 much faster than many other carries would.
KuroKy heading back overhead just to keep tabs on Moon. Takes down the Hawk. Moon obviously continuing to jungle pretty much at a very good rate on this Beastmaster, even though KuroKy's trying to do his best to slow it down, but the fact that he did give away that kill and hasn't been able to really do that much since to slow him.
If he can find the counter kill though, Moon is dropping a little low and he's got level 3. I don't think it's enough with the boars because the boars slow him down.
Yeah, he doesn't have boots either.
Yeah.
Dire's structures are fortified.
maybe on this Nets camp.
Dyer's bottom tower.
I don't know. He really
is
needs a
under attack.
rotation. I really thought they were going to be bringing the Lion, but I think he's got this.
Oh.
He definitely does.
Yeah, Moon. I mean, he knew that the Riki was around initially.
That is very greedy play by Moon.
Yeah.
Almost as if he went AFK.
He's got Tranquil Boots. Like, there's no reason to be soaking up hits on the neutrals when you have the boars out. Just Iron Talon, pull the creeps back to their full leash range, let the boars do their work, and let your Tranquil Boots get you back healthy. Now you've just brought Curl back into the game after that misstep earlier where he ran into a clever trap by OG in the counter.
Guess he never ever thought he'd die.
Never ever.
KuroKy still hanging around down bottom. I mean, Mind Control as well. He's nearly level 6, so he's only getting the XP. And he's getting a fair bit of CS as well. 19 on this lifestealer, so it's not been a bad off lane for Mind Control at the start of this game. And again, looking at this Slark, the fact that OG haven't done anything yet about it, we kind of saw this yesterday. I believe it was with Aloha Dance's performance. We had a game where he was left alone. And I mean, Slark, it's such a risky hero, surely, to just allow to have this good start.
Yeah, but at the same time, you have to have the right kind of heroes to actually gank it. Otherwise, the rotation doesn't pay out, right? It's such a hard hero to gank because when he has level 6, he's got 2 different instant escape mechanisms, Dark Pact as well as his ult. So in that case, it's just easier to try and pressure the offlaner, but they missed that. They might get Kuro instead, though.
KuroKy popping down the smoke screens, trying to get himself out, but N0tail looks to take him. KuroKy jumps across, will still go down. They're trying to find the kill onto Fly in return. Have the Hex as well. Mind Control will be able to finish this off. Meanwhile, at the same time, bit of action mid. It's
Best.
playing around
he's
with
silenced.
this one.
Radiant's
Back down
top
towards the
tower is
bottom.
under
He's
attack.
still hanging around for this one. He's getting himself out under the cover of OG's own creeps. Mind Control. And Moon, N0tail, and Crit are hanging around. He's just going to have to sit there and hide for the time being. There's backup coming in from the rest of his side. KuroKy there as well as Jerax. KuroKy actually going to pay off his life. The dust is popped, and immediate reaction from Mind Control though. Comes out, the smoke screen's down. Now he's trying to look for N0tail, but OG with 4 heroes down, and Crit rolling back in onto KuroKy, but KuroKy jumps across. Liquid, they will be able to keep themselves all alive here.
Look at top lane. Miracle's going to be caught, though. The pounce is just barely going to latch, and that means Miracle will go down to these 2 cores unless he can somehow slip his way through the trees and go for a toss play.
Oh my god.
There's no way, right?
Oh, Miracle. Nah, he tries his best there. He really does. Makes Liquid work for it. But nonetheless, still getting that kill. And an extra bit of gold here towards that slot.
It is quite a...
Oh, no!
N0tail there with the Riptide on the illusions. KuroKy just did not expect that. Instantly deleting the Riki and Fly. Oh, that finger though! Jerax, he's had a good few fingers this series.
It was kind of weird. Like, I really thought they were going to move Jerax around a bit more because he had all that space. What they did is quite the opposite. They moved the Slark into the jungle really early on, and they actually had the Lion taking the solo experience at top, which means he got that fast level 5 and level 6, which allowed him to rotate and have a higher impact
Radiant's
at bottom
top
lane.
tower is under
They
attack.
played a little bit more of a farming game in the laning phase, and it seems to have worked out.
N0tail, maybe
Well,
they
they
just
combo
set
this.
something up here. The follow through bottom smashing high. It's not going to catch Mind Control in time. He gets the rage out. Moon is there with the roar, but KuroKy's smoke screen stopping OG from being able to go full in. Magnetize is down onto Mind Control and KuroKy. Crit trying to do it. I mean, this man playing around behind the tier 2s. He's trying for the TP out, but the tower hit flies through, will lose his life. But at the end of the day, it is just Crit trading his life for that kill onto the core lifesteal.
Dyer's
A bit of a
middle
shame
tower
that
is under
Moon
attack.
and N0tail backed off instead of going the north direction of the cloud. They chose to run towards their own base instead of just going for the kill. So Crit was sort of left to his own devices.
He almost got out, though. If he had just gotten the kill and managed to complete the TP, would have been a really good trade-off. It's kind of an interesting attempt, though, to lead the sleep into the boulder kick like that against the instant rage pickup. I guess if you time it perfectly, you probably hit Mind Control before he's able to get the rage. But that is... It's tough to actually get the Naga Siren to stop the Saga Siren at the perfect time, just because it's not instant.
Miracle has a Blink Dagger now.
Yeah, this game will change now.
One thing you briefly talked about earlier, Owen, was the difference of CS between the Siren and the Slark. And while the Slark has done some jungling, it is quite a significant change. Almost 30 CS difference.
see towards the mid, see what they can get done with this Blink Dagger. The initial setup for Crit, and there's your combo from Miracle, but the RP comes through. Fada skewers away, and the Blink Dagger reveal not going the way that OG would have hoped to, as Fada gets himself nicely back out of the action.
If he'd gone for the skewer on those two heroes to the tier 1, it actually would have worked out beautifully. He probably would have given up his life, but Kuro was making the TP in with the Infest Bomb. Now Kuro has to rotate through the Radiant jungle, see if he can find something. This is pretty standard though. OG, they need to be able to get some vision up, both ward and counter ward, to see these kind of rotations. That way they don't get caught while they're trying to jungle, but also that way they can punish this 4-in-3 position gank.
Has been spotted out, of course, with the Sentry. Kuroki gets the D-Ward. They know that they're onto him, but Miracle jumps in with a combo. They take it down the Riki, mind control, jumps out, backs away. But Tumberman actually turning up with the Shadow Blade. They can see him, and immediately the reaction from Crit, holding back Tumberman, and he's got great play from Crit. Quick reactions to make sure that nothing goes the way of Liquid in that middle lane and top. Liquid, they're losing someone else. Jack's going to get caught up by the Roar, follow through from Moon and Fly. And 3 quick kills there for OG. It's just misplays from Liquid there in the mid lane. The Slark getting a little bit too greedy in terms of seeing a kill and feeling that he can go and get it, even though they knew the Sentry was
from
there.
above. It's always lovely when you have that one concern is that their #1 carry is farming too much and he's finishing his Shadow Blade, especially when it's the Slark that can prey on these support heroes so much, and then he runs into mid and you immediately kill him off. That must give you such a good feeling of the game for OG.
Yeah, Miracle. He's getting a bit of recovery too, and he's going to be one of the more dangerous heroes against that Slark. He's got the AoE disable, he's got burst damage. It's not that easy of a game from Tumberman just to YOLO in, because there are so many AoE disables, or at least two heroes they're able to provide that.
Fader though, picking up his Blink Dagger.
Again, finding picks like this. Huge kill onto Tumberman once more for OG. Mind control, trying to turn it, lock it down onto Miracle. But it jumps in as well, no messing. They need to kill this Tiny. RP skewers him back under the tower. Follow-up burst for Jags there, not messing. Everything dropped down onto the Tiny to ensure the kill. So 1-for-1 there between the sides. And the game 3 at the moment, I mean, it's panning out to be close. In your guys' visions, is anyone clearly ahead here, or could this definitely swing both ways?
Well, 5 minutes ago, Liquid were definitely ahead, but now it's swung to the favor of OG. One of the things is that Liquid are running kind of similar lineup to last time, where they don't have the transition to be able to take objectives very quickly when they win a team fight, but they do have, I think, the slightly better late game with Mag Slark. Slark is probably one of the better late game carries out there, and Magnus is one of those game-changing ults. And then they've got, I'm not sure how the offlane Lifestealer is going to scale into the to late game, but I'm presuming it has at least a moderate effect on the game's outcome. So I think Liquids, they still need to be concerned about the fact that they've lost their Slark so much, because they needed to be able to control the tempo for like until 20 minutes. And 20 minutes when OG really start turning up the pace.
Moon coming around here, goes for a run to mind control, realizes they've got the ward out. They have spotted him. He's going to go for the immediate TP away, and he will make it, Moon. So,
Miracle, he runs straight to the silence, but he might get Tumberman.
Oh, he can't quite get it. Shadow Dance comes out, the burst isn't enough. Crit now jumping in as well, looking for the control into mind control, but the rage turning towards Miracle, back up from Fly, so Liquid can't go in fully on OG. In fact, OG still trying to go in on them. Miracle jumps in, but a good smoke screen from Kuroki. Stopping the combo coming out, but Tumberman on the back line is trying to pick off the Dazzle. Another good stun from Crit, setting up the combination from Miracle. This time they'll take down the Slark. And NoTail singing the song of his people, looking to set up another kill for OG. His eyes towards Fodder. The stun timing's perfect, and again, they've got the burst to bring him down eventually. Another kill for OG. Both of the cores going down there for Liquid, and just really nice team fight and execution there for the side of OG. That's looking just that little bit tighter than Liquid this game.
Yeah, now OG, they've got the Blink Dagger, the Tiny is making a lot of progression. The Beastmaster is finally online with his Necro Book, so this is where OG are going to reach like a certain early game peak where they can really take it to Liquid. They can take some early objectives. They might even be able to, well, I guess they don't have the team to do it. Roshan is only an option if they win a big fight right outside the pit. So unfortunately, that's not an objective that OG can reliably keep in mind, but they can at least control this game and force Liquid into more of defensive posture. I think the game is kind of theirs to hold on to for like the next 10 to 15 minutes. Liquid are going to be much more pickoff oriented, where they're looking for kills on the Slark, occasionally go for an RP kill as well. They have to still try and be aggressive though, because they can't just let the Naga Siren do whatever she wants.
I mean, as we talked earlier, as you said, Matt, the fact that Slark, he was miles ahead in the CS, but now at this point, you know, No-Tail's caught right up, and now he's pretty much miles ahead. Relic done. It's going to be a really good timing on the Radiance at this rate. And as you said, Cap, Liquid, they really need to look to make something happen. They're smoked up. Kuroki carrying the Lifestealer inside him.
They're looking for the Naga Siren. They really need that kill before the Radiance is up, but sadly for them, No-Tail's already backed up to the fountain where he's picked up his Relic, and they're not going to find anything here.
And OG's not in a particular hurry to force the issue either. They have the natural item progression on most all of their heroes. They have the Force Staff on Crit already. Tiny has halfway to his Shadow Blade, so everything's going really well for them. Of course, they can just wait for the Radiance. Even Moon, last time around, he had a really hard game. They had to create space for him for a good 10 minutes before he could get his book.
There we go, jumping in onto Fly, looking for a quicker off the Dazzle, but he's going to be safe. Gets brought out to the sidelines. Now Liquid themselves, they need to be careful. The stun control for Crit onto Mind Control's Lifestealer, taking him down. And Liquid, they just seem a little bit too pressured to try and go for these aggressive plays, and OG, they have the heroes to react to it.
Yeah,
they're just so good at timing these things.
I mean, the fact that they managed to get both, like, Force Staff as well as Dazzle close to completing a Glimmer Cape, he's got the Shadow Amulet, like, that shouldn't be a concern at this point. You shouldn't have to worry about the fact that the supports have the escape mechanism to get away from your combination, but that is just the sad part where you feed away, like, those kills on Matumba Man. It's just, like, the small little skirmishes go wrong, and all of a sudden the game is in the hands of OG. They've got you countered, and they will have control of this game. I think their biggest peak is going to be, like, 35 minutes, where you should start thinking about closing out the game if you're OG, just for fear of, you know, you don't want to put a late game against Slark if you don't have to.
If Fada can find the kill, or the setup at least, if the Slark comes out as well onto...
They've got to get the initiation and first and before Song of Siren.
Oh, got it, great.
Good skewer
kill.
timing.
Very big kill as well. We'll just slow down the radius a little bit. He's still very close to the recipe, No-Tail. At the same time, Liquid, they're going to find themselves another bit of fortune at Crit. Can they finish it? Yes, they can. A second kill for Liquid as they start to swing a little bit of the flow of this game back in their favor.
Pick off, turn it into an objective if you can. See if you can take that tier 1 with 2 heroes down.
Yeah, and this Mag and the Lion with their Blink Daggers is a constant threat around the map right now. They have these immediate disables that you can't really run from, which forces OG to actually stick together. Even the Siren can't run around on her own.
Yeah, they can't do it. They can't take this mid tower. And now, like, the RP is down. OG's going to come back with... They've got all very low cooldown abilities, except for maybe Naga Siren Sleep, which is more of an escape mechanism than anything else. So they can always just fight, especially when they see that the big CD of RP is on cooldown. So they're not going to be able to force that tier 1 down. OG, they see them back out, so... In response, OG's just going to spread themselves out, try and farm more efficiently, make the Naga Siren do Naga Siren things, and that'll clear up room for Miracle to maybe find some pickoffs as Liquid spread out and try and deal with the split push.
Miracle just sitting in this tree line up here, just waiting patiently, trying to find out where the enemy is.
May catch Matumba Man. Matumba Man knows that Miracle with this kind of build is always going to be hunting him. That's why he's spending time in the jungle and hesitant to show himself in lane, but it may not matter.
Did he realize?
He's certainly playing very, very safe. Superman into the tree line. Miracle's going to hang around, see if he comes back out, but no, but Superman TP's away, so smart moves from the Slark. Making sure he doesn't get caught out by this forever roaming Tiny that's hungry to find these kills that he can burst down on.
Miracle knows, especially if he's on strength treads, that his combination alone can't kill the Slark. He's got to get like the Shadow Blade hit in, and even then I think he still doesn't get it. Probably needs the help of someone else. They've got Moon with the early gem. I really like this pickup. They needed to get some map control in, make sure that Liquid don't feel comfortable.
They just scanned Miracle. They know he's there. They might be setting up a trap.
He's gonna pop some smokes.
Look at Jax, that certainly is a hero that he can comment down, but
he blinked away too!
What?
Miracle. Very nicely done. At the same time, kind of like the Fodder, he does cancel cast the RP, so it doesn't end up wasting it, but yet smooth play from Miracle. Getting in, taking down one of the backline supports, and cleanly escaping from the fight. Now OG in a position to put on the pressure on the mid lane tier 2. And Miracle again, just continue to look to set up from behind. There's a sentry here for the side of Liquid, so he's got to be careful. Kuroki will now spot him out. Miracle, yeah, realizes that the gig is up. They know that he's there. Fada, he will be ready with a reaction. Still sitting back with that
Dire's
RP.
middle tower is under attack.
Of course, this is something as well that's going to be playing a bit of a hazard to the way that Smackdown wants to play. The fact that N0tail is going to consistently just send these illusions back with the Radiance burn that's going to make it very hard for the Magnus to find himself in the position he wants to be in these fights.
The illusions take out the counter ward now. Miracle can find his initiation on Fada.
Oh, here we go, and with the back of a crit, they've done it. They'll burst down the Magnus, take the tier 2, and Liquid just a little bit all over the place here behind this tier 2.
A very fortunate silence from Crit as well. They didn't know that Stealth Assassin was standing right there. He could have come with the smoke cloud and completely interrupted that gang and could have turned the fight around. But that silence just caused him to stand there and do nothing instead.
Miracle on the hunt from a Timberman. Timberman actually cancelling the TP. Maybe scared that Miracle could have got the blind stun onto him. Yeah, he's just going to go for the Shadow Blade walkout. Slot will still be able to keep himself safe.
He's got Jarek making the rotation over. I think Jarek's probably made the call. He's like, don't leave. You've already pushed in the tower. You know somebody's going to rotate from OG to stop that tier 1 from being taken for free. So go ahead. We're going to combo this up. We'll see if we can kill whoever shows.
Radiant's
but
bottom tower
you can see
is
how
under
Miracle
attack.
is wary to actually go for that. He senses the bait, it seems. He knows, like, nobody's showing up at the top lane right now. There are so few heroes on map that OG are just wary to reveal themselves anymore.
Liquid.
Deny. There we go.
Gonna move over as a group here by the secret shop. OG at the same time have backed away. Into Kuroki, mind control goes. See if they're able to kick anything off in the river. Good spot out of Crit as he headed up to the high ground. See what they can find. The Hawk from Moon did spot out Fada's movement, but of course Kuroki still to the cover of the shadows, moving across towards OG.
Dire's middle tower is
They're
under
still playing
attack.
around with this Infest combo, but it doesn't do nearly as much anymore because Naga Siren, Beastmaster, and Tiny's Miracle are all tanky enough to survive through the quick burst, and then you even have the surviving mechanisms of the supports as well. So they're looking desperately for a kill, but even if they do find a hero, it's not guaranteed that they get it.
Here we go. Looking for Matuma Man. Do they have detection? Doesn't look like do. Matuma Man's going to be able to get himself back. Liquid. Oh, there. Sorry, apologies. They did have the sentry down. But yeah, the fact that Liquid did have the backup and that OG couldn't commit for that kill. And it's just a battle of the sentry wards at the moment, it seems. Just the vision game is so huge regarding what both teams are trying to bring into the fights and the ways they're looking to initiate with their cores. See here, Kuroki, he knows Miracle's about. Matuma Man's going to start to move in, jumping in immediately with the hex onto Miracle. Fada gets the RP onto Fry, making sure that there's no save from the Dazzle, and Liquid find 2. Moon TP's away on the high ground. So even though it's a solo RP onto the Dazzle, it's worth it, because it means that Miracle can't get saved, and suddenly Liquid, they're finding 2 kills and losing nothing.
Yeah, Liquid were desperate for a pickup like that because they were losing the game off efficiency. And now, can they actually get N0tail fast enough?
Yeah, Crit's going to try and jump in, and yeah, N0tail's got the song. TP's himself out immediately, and yeah, nothing Liquid can do about that. So good kind of casualty control, just making sure they don't lose anything else, OG.
If we look at the draft of these 2 games, Austin, do you think it's even worth it to come with these, this lifestealer Ricky first pick combo? I don't think, like, game 1, it didn't have that much efficiency, and in this one too, I don't think it's been worthwhile compared to what they gave up for it. First Spirit and Beastmaster, 2 heroes so very good in the hands of OG.
Yeah, I would actually agree. I think that, especially since they had to relegate the Lifestealer to the offlane, like I thought maybe that would actually give this combination, this opening pair, a little bit more life where you're able to have that versatility to it, but I don't think it's working out well enough, and it seems to have a very short shelf life where you can only really do a whole lot for the first 20 minutes. And somehow OG, they got like a lot more farm than they should have, so the shelf life of the combination dropped even more severely when you had these tanky heroes picking up more tank, and then you had the escape mechanisms up. But I still think inherently it's just not a combination that will work out for long.
It almost seems gimmicky at this point.
I still think there's, just because it's very strong against so many of the heroes of the current patch, but I agree. I think more people are working around Lifestealer and Riki individually a lot better, as we're just seeing so much of it.
Oh,
Jarek's in trouble.
Oh, it's a smart call to blink TP. Crit. Oh! Nearly finds him out there. Jax will escape.
this is the time where you smoke up as Liquid, because now, like, OG have revealed themselves, you didn't lose a hero, you know where they're at. It's kind of like having the vision, like this is something Blitz was talking about. You always smoke to where you have vision. Well, in this case, at least they have an idea. Even if they don't have the exact vision of where OG are, they know approximately where they're at. They think maybe they can catch one of them while they're backing away and do the typical, you know, efficient thing where as you back up, you try and farm neutrals. It's not the case here, though. OG always play like very much together in that regard. They don't try and maximize efficiency because they know how important team fighting is. And sure enough, they get the successful Radiant scan. They know that Liquid are in their jungle, and they're just going to play back and let NoTail do his thing atop.
NoTail, of course, very close to having the Octarine done as well. I mean, how much of an issue is this for the side of Liquid, Matt? The fact that they have got this threat of the Naga Siren. I mean, this is never going to kind of stop, is it? I mean, if the game goes on and on, OG are going to have that kind of late game security with the Naga.
Yeah, but we've seen in the past teams that likes to play Siren a lot. For instance, Alliance, we've seen play some Siren games where it's just not enough. They do have the Tiny to rely on this game as well as a secondary carry, but I don't think Liquid is in too rough a spot if this should go to the late game. They have some great late game carries, and they have some even better lockdown. In RP, you can't play around RP.
No, I completely agree with that. I think Liquid actually have... But it's okay. That was almost the pickoff they really needed. My concern is not necessarily the Liquid are running out of time where Naga Siren's going to get too big late game. It's actually the fact that he should have better farm efficiency, and then OG hit this really big peak, I think, around 30-35 minutes. But the thing is it's actually not working out that way. NoTail, he's doing the right Naga things, I think. I haven't been following him too much, but I'm sure he's farming efficiently on the Naga Siren. But what's surprising at this, Slark is able to keep so close in pace, and I think a lot of that is Matava-Ben's focused on farming. But it's also the fact that the Magnuson power is allowing him to clear through neutrals a lot more efficiently as well. So he's going to have that BKB, which means that they can fully commit to kills such as the Naga Siren. They no longer have to worry about the Song of Siren escape when they can't burst her. And that does change the game quite a bit. Liquid will have this peak where maybe they can fully force a Naga Siren kill and then back up, take Roshan, have Aegis, bully down the rest of the tier 2s, and maybe actually control the game against a Naga Siren. But we'll see. If they get to that point, they're in a really good spot because I still feel good about their late game. But
it's a bit back and forth. I think once Moon gets that Blink Dagger, OG can also play a bit more aggressively around the map, not only having to rely on Miracle doing the initiation. His farm is not great. He's been going for all these early game kills. He managed to get a fairly early Shadow Blade as a follow-up to the Blink Dagger, but ever since then it's stagnated quite a bit.
Even some things like the Empower allowing you to clear through Ancients a lot faster, that's normally not an option for Slark, because obviously he's a little bit more reliant on his magic damage. But because he gets his boost in physical damage and he has a cleave effect, he can even farm Ancients, which is pretty significant. OG are beginning to corral things, though, in that bottom lane, and this will be our really, if it comes down to it, a really major team fight. Whatever happens the next, 5 minutes, it's going to be OG either taking control of the game off of one team fight with the BKB is just not enough for the Slark to actually get the kill on the Naga Siren, and they lose out on the damage over time efficiency of Radiance, or they do win that fight, they take Roshan, and then they can actually start pressuring, and then they'll have this big sigh of relief where they've kind of beat OG when they're supposed to be one of their strongest times, and they also have, I believe, better late game to fall back on. Either way, it's close. I think both teams are just kind of on edge right now. Neither one fully happy with what's going on with this game, but neither team in danger.
Max sitting on a lot of gold. Do you think he goes for that straight refresh orb now?
Or does he need a BKB?
Sometimes we would see BKB might be necessary against Song of Siren, but then again, you're kind of like a one-off. You jump in, RP, making sure you still are able to do things if the Song of Siren goes off doesn't mean as much if your hero is just focused around that. Then
again, you're also against the Earth Spirit and a Tiny, so a BKB by all means is a great item pickup, and he's only sitting on 1500 HP. It's fine, but it's not a whole lot.
It would allow him to play more of a bully role where he just sits forward and he knows, okay, you can try and silence me, but that doesn't matter because I have the BKB to fall back on. Miracle, though, now has his Aghanim Scepter. The secondary carry of OG is staying ahead of most of the other cores. It's only the Slarks that's ahead of them right now.
And now we get to follow the enjoyment of watching a Naga Siren with Radiant's Octarine core.
Yeah.
Really one of the greatest pleasures of watching Dota 2.
It's you thought the Alchemist was bad, but that's just Naga Siren light. You know, he's the way he plays with the Manta style and Octarine, Radiance, all that. That's just he's playing as a Naga Siren, but it's not real Naga Siren. This is the real Resident Sleeper right here.
Kuroki is going to come over, start to get a bit of vision on the enemy lines.
I mean, look at it. The Slark is still neck and neck with a Naga Siren.
It's very impressive play from Atomic. The fact that he is keeping up like this.
Yeah, I still can't fully figure out the efficiency.
It's just the fact that we're 30 minutes in and he's nearly hitting onto 300 CS.
Maybe it has something to do with not having Manta earlier. I mean, I think Octarine before Manta is fine.
He was also way ahead of the Siren.
It was the very start, yeah. So there was that initial lead. Yeah, and then there was the position where they had a good few fights, and OG managed to get the Naga back ahead. But now, well, Miracle is out on his own. They don't have any sentries down here. And yeah, he's just looking for the free pick onto Jarax. We'll see how Liquid can react to this one. And Miracle, of course, yeah, just going to get himself straight out to the sidelines. Liquid actually just TPing back to the base with mind control, just making sure the lanes don't get too close to their tier 3s. But OG maybe with this play, maybe feeling a bit confident and want to try and go for the Roshan.
And I think they shouldn't can.
Yeah.
First Roshan attempt, and rightfully so, they wait until they get a pick off. Lion, obviously the dream scenario is picking off the mag, but Lion isn't half bad either.
Yeah, certainly it's one of the disables that would prevent you from getting off Song of Siren, and that is obviously what the big defensive play when you go for Roshan. So they'll take it with ease. Liquid not aiming to contest.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
I think they're hoping to be able to catch someone as they try and split push top with the Riki Lifestealer combo again.
And Miracle now having completed the Aghanim Scepter. What is really dangerous for Liquid is where in 10 minutes from now, once Liquid or OG keeps pushing out the waves, whenever they hit the base, they actually hit it quite hard, and they'll keep taking away at the buildings and taking them down over time. You always see the mid lane already lost almost 700 HP.
Yeah, that is a good point. It's still OG. Same thing as game number 2, where they had the superior pushing power, where they're able to turn a 1-1 team fight into instantly a Rax, especially with Tiny. As well as a Beastmaster, that combination particularly threatening. I think part of the problem is actually that this game slowed down. Like OG, they slowed down the game a lot, but Liquid's still playing between Kuro and Mind Control like they're trying to get those pickoffs, and Lifestealer isn't actually farming. So I had question marks about whether or not the offlane Lifestealer could actually have some impact in late game. Well, if you're spending all your time inside of the Riki, that limited impact that this mid-game core is supposed to have is going to be even lessened by the fact that he doesn't have the farm to keep up with all these other heroes.
And yeah, I mean, so yeah, Matt, what do you think about Fada's decision there to go for the Shiva's Guard on the Magnus?
I think it's good. I think it's good. It was the third item we didn't really talk about, but obviously it's good against the entire lineup of OG. You what now?
Huh? I said Shiva's.
Ah, you shouldn't.
Yeah. Shiva's the play.
Manta now on the Naga, so we're going to continue to see this just play from OG, where they keep this game at a sort of balanced state. But I mean, as you guys have pointed out, the fact that Liquid's cores, more specifically just Slark, has been keeping up with the farm of OG.
Okay, Kuro's now, he's a taxi service for the Lifestealer. He shows up in top lane, he needs the escape from Miracles, so jump inside the Invis hero and TP both away. Kuro is his magic carpet ride. It's a freedom.
Well, it's actually Note him carrying the gem now, so that when all the illusions are moving around the map, they'll have the true vision.
Yeah, actually, even if I'm actually going to change my story here. I'm not sure, because Lifestealer's not getting enough farm, and I'm not sure if like Slark solo can carry this game. I think there's just going to be too many opportunities for OG, just like last time, except for this time they're in control of the map.
Yeah, and they have the means to control the Slark as well, which is another issue.
They just don't have enough, like, they win a fight, but they have to win like 3 fights in a row as Liquid in order to threaten an objective, where OG, they just win 1 and take force buybacks.
These two teams and their drafts are just so close in strength for different reasons that it's very hard to predict who's ahead. Obviously, in this game, it seems as if OG is in full control, considering that Liquid is mostly sitting in their base. But even then, one fight, one great reverse polarity coming off of Fada, and things might change.
And I think Naga Siren, like, there is so much situational strength to the Song of Siren that you have going late game. BKBs are inevitably going to wear down on cooldown, and the best part is you are not the solo damage dealer.
Top Fly tried to go with the great TP out, but the man hits the bash. Fly, give them a cake, still gonna play around it, but now they've got the gem across on the slot. Jumps in, and well, after a bit of a dry spell, we do finally get ourselves another kill this game.
If you followed Fly throughout this game, he's actually been farming very aggressively, almost alone, on a Shadow Priest. That's how confident OG has been in their map control.
It's something that Liquid's, like Kuro has no problem whatsoever. We talked about mind control not doing much. OG have just been making sure to always keep up that efficiency when possible. They're willing to throw Fly into a side lane and have him push out. He gets 1,000 gold, and maybe he dies, but at least he forces a rotation. He's not an important kill anyway, and it's not a kill that like allows Liquid to take control of the game.
Yeah, at this point he's like a glorified Beastmaster Hawk that can function as a tactical service, as you said earlier, and then of course he has the smoke cloud for team fights.
Look at this here, I mean, OG, I think they know that the Lifestealer's in one of these, and he's about to pop. OG, they're ready to jump in. Here we go, Miracle looking to lead in with the combo, but Mind Control has got the rage, heads to the sidelines, knows he's in a lot of trouble though. There's no chance for a TP with Aurora available from Moon, and they will catch Mind Control there, as he was kind of holding on to his life inside that creep, but OG ready to get the better of him. Liquid maybe looking to do something here. Our grouped up as 4 as OG starts pushing this bottom lane.
This Aegis should expire soon, right? They might as well try and make something off of it.
Yeah, I think they're just hesitant to fully force a fight. Just because they know they're giving Liquid the opportunity to take control of the game, whereas if things stay static, it's not possible.
Kill him a second. Oh, great timing with this, but the sword! No tail puts a halt on this fight. And OG, can they do anything in return? Man posts the BKB, looks towards Miracle. Jerix is there as well with the Hex. They're going to take down Miracle a second time. See if Liquid can continue to chase down anything else, or if OG is simply able to disengage Moon. TP's himself out, will make it crit as well with the Blink TP, and they won't be able to find him. But nonetheless, for the Aegis, taking Tiny.
Immediately when Miracle went downhill, he regretted his map movement. He was like, oh, wrong step. I wish I could blink up in safety, but he'd already gotten hit by the damage.
What was their plan there? I think they, I don't know, it was really poorly timed, but I think they thought they were going to be able to do once again the combination where they stop the sleep as the kicked boulder is right on top of the hero so they can't get off their instant magic immunity, and then they just combo it with the Tiny. But that was clearly a situation where it's like, if you don't hit that, you lose the fight. Right?
Yeah, they seem very uncertain of what they wanted to do.
Yeah, they could have just ran away with the Song of Sirens and called it a day.
Jumps in, sets this up for Moon to get the roar off.
Under attack.
See if they can finish it though. Send the Necro units out, but Vada with the Shiva's Guard, too much armor.
Again, these defensive smoke screens. Kuro has actually been doing a great job avoiding some of the kills in this game.
Superman now with that completed Abyssal Blade. If he does catch anyone out, he's got a heavy amount of kill potential. Moon, and out. Superman will just look to clean up the Necro units. And Liquid, it's a full 5-man around this mid lane. We'll see how aggressive they want to push in, or if they're just going to continue this very high level of safety that both teams have been playing with. It's both teams, if they throw away one team fight, the push is going to come in very, very hard from the opponents.
Yeah, this really is a strong recurrence of deja vu from game number 2, where Liquid need to be able to control the game and not make any mistakes when it comes to team fighting in order to make sure that they can close this game slowly but surely and start pushing towards those objectives. One mistake, OG take full control and start threatening the objectives of Liquid. And now is a pretty good time to go forward because the Aegis is, they lost the Aegis obviously. Miracle still does not have has his AC, so he's not like a full physical damage carry in team fights just yet. He's still focused on burst, so.
Eyes onto Moon. We'll set up the initiation for Liquid to come in. They'll take down the Ricky. Can OG do anything in return? 3-man silence, but Superman post BKB works his way into crit. Double kill now for the slot. No-tail, he's popped the song. He's trying to run into a man, looking to get a rage for the Abyssal Blade, but the BKB runs out. No-tail continue to back himself up, but Superman can't dive this deep. Liquid, they do get themselves those 2 kills. Song now on cooldown, so now this is the time for Liquid to look for some objectives.
Same way Liquid gave away the game last time around. OG is now giving up.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Dire's middle tower.
I mean, it was
close.
It was a little close.
Yeah.
If he actually successfully picks up Miracle there, sucks him in, and is able to get the skewer back, like, boom, you just went from getting the pick off and taking tier 2 to getting the pick off and taking tier 3.
Tower has fallen.
But inevitably, because they don't get that, they have to back themselves away and deal with the Naga Siren again. Still, though, you have to remember, like, Liquid are really good at controlling against these kind of split pushes. The way, for example, they controlled Alliance earlier, that was, I think, a good showing of how to deal with split push and not giving any openings when you're facing against the team that exploits those openings the best.
And Liquid now with some big iron pickups. BKB now done on Fido's Magnus, and Mind Control's found the completed AC now.
That is a value counter ward if I've ever seen it. 2 observer wards to be taken.
So like last game, Miracle now again on the bottom 5 CSs of the teams on a hero that should be the secondary carry. But they did win last game.
Oh, here we have it.
They see him. Oh no.
Moon,
why did you back away?
Oh, they needed Moon a little bit closer with those Necros. And because of that, Liquid don't lose anything here, don't lose anyone.
Oh, they're going to try and just rush Roshan while the Naga Siren Illusions are pushing Liquid back, but they're in serious danger. And Liquid actually, it's again one of those situations where, oh, the enemy team went for the gank, they missed out. Oftentimes this would be a smoke push out, but...
RP up in 5 seconds as well.
It's not the quickest of Roshes. So there is time, but I mean, Liquid, on their behalf, they're not actually moving out yet. So OG, so they will get away with this one. Liquid now starting to group up and maybe thinking about leaving the base, but No Touch is popping the song as well, just securing this for OG. I mean, Liquid as it is, they're not even in the neighborhood, so no chance that OG slip this one out, and they'll find it. Miracle again picks up the Aegis. And Liquid, I mean, were they just not aware that was happening, or did they just feel they couldn't contest it against a lineup with an Naga?
If you followed the blinks on the minimap, it seemed as if Liquid expected them to be on the top half of the map.
Maybe. They might have known about it. They might have thought that it's not a fight they want to go to. It's still different fighting around Roshan against Naga Siren. If they did know and didn't want to take that fight, though, they should have taken much better control of mid and top.
What have we here?
Maybe that's what the lines were being drawn about. I'm not sure. Either they didn't know, they were just blind, just ignorant, or they did know and they just executed poorly to try and make space in exchange for Aegis being taken.
Trying to take the courier here. Might still get it. OG are hit. And that will hold Croaky back from being able to jump forward for more.
Will he get the Primal Roar?
There we go. No message. Saves it to the last minute, though. Maybe Wandering Hotel is going to be able to take it down himself. Look at the Kuro kill.
Refresh orb on Moon, though. But the damage output on Liquid right now is quite significant.
It's still just a Slark, though.
And a Lifestealer. He completed his Assault Caress. Remember, they have Empower on both heroes as well. There's 2 BKBs on them, so they can sustain through most of the spell damage. And with the amount of damage that comes out from them, they can actually kill off OG in a very, very quick manner.
Both these heroes are fairly single target focused, though. It's the Fly, his positioning in team fights probably be paramount for OG if they can get the right kind of Shallow Graves that stops the hero from being bursted down by Matoma Man's Abyssal Blade or the Lifestealer. Similar story there. Then the turnaround potential is there from OG. And again, it's kind of like the drawn-out fights. It's weird because usually Slark is the king of drawn-out fights where he's able to bounce in and out, disengage, re-engage off of his free heart from the ultimate. But the Naga Siren should trump the rest of the heroes.
A big difference here is also that there's buyback on 4 of the Liquid heroes, whereas on OG, none of the cores do.
That's also because they're not in danger, right? They lose this fight on Liquid's side, they're not going to lose their base. Liquid certainly could, though.
See what OG are able to achieve here, just outside the base of Liquid. Waiting to see if anyone dares to leave it. But Liquid playing very, very carefully. Toman's going to start to lead out. Miracle revealing himself. Very openly. We'll see how Liquid want to react to this. They don't really want to jump on this man with the Aegis at the moment. Toman thinking about it. He will go forward. It's a quick chip and then backs off. OG wanting to try and make as much as they can happen with this Aegis on the Tiny. They're just heading in onto Toman with the combos. Shooting back, not going to catch anyone. And now with the Raw to fight, Miracle with the right clicks, bringing the Magnus down low, but he gets saved. Forced down twice, back into the safety of his own base. So not losing anything here, but Notes out with the song, trying to set something up for OG. Who are they going to look to? Brimstone onto Toman instantly, and then take down the Slug, and he's dead. 90 seconds gone now. And this is a huge huge opening here for the side of OG. Now he only just had the money now for the buyback. He was waiting for it to tick in. He has come out back into the game, but they've already lost the mid racks. And it's very fortunate that he did just have that goal, because if they had no Slark here, they'd be in a huge world of pain. Nonetheless, OG, they still want to stick around. Matuma trying to go on to no-tail. Miracle blinks out immediately as well.
I mean, look at that. Liquid bought back, and they couldn't buy back and fight fast enough. Part of the problem is, like, Fada didn't get off his RP in that fight, and he only had one shot at it, and then there was no other opportunities, because the Naga Siren was throwing illusions at him constantly.
There actually was, but he didn't BKB. He could have lived through both of those spell combos and had 3 heroes on top of him, but he chose. I think Fada already thought he was dead and wanted to buy back.
And going on to Miracle, we're seeing all these save mechanisms with the backup of the Dazzle, the 4 staffs and the Glimmer Capes, keeping this Tiny alive. And they clean out mid, they pretty much put the tier 3 on the top lane on the edge of existence. And Liquid looking a little bit battered after that fight. This very vulnerable position where for the next 6 minutes, having that buyback of the Slark on cooldown.
It's very similar to last game as well. And the entire timing of it all. Obviously this game going a bit later because of the nature of the 2 lineups, but other than that, it's OG suffocating Liquid and waiting for them to use buybacks.
Miracle, that was very ballsy. Jerix, if he had been a bit closer, they could have actually taken Miracle and right outside their tier 3. Even if he has Aegis, he still dies there, because the moment he comes back, I think he gets hit by the well-timed skewer of Fada, so he can't instant blink away.
That being said, no-tail could TP in and sleep.
That's true. He does have the boots of trap level 2, so he's pretty much maxed out. He can get upgraded Diffusal Blade, but other than that, you're going to start seeing the 7 and 8 slots of Naga Siren, but it has very, very little impact for the amount of gold cost. This is OG's best time to try and end the game. They're still going to offer a lot of control for like 10-15 minutes, where they're always going to be the ones pressuring Liquid side of the map, and that's just going to make things hard for Liquid, where they have to win so many team fights in a row, never make any mistakes, never give any openings for OG, because one small thing, even just like he just ran up and took a tier 3 real quickly. That's how quickly they can push.
Nice stun and silence as Liquid were the ones trying to jump in on him. Now, moving in with the song, they're looking to turn this one around, OG. They're going to back off. They don't feel confident trying to go for the kill on Matuma. Just playing it very safe, OG. In fact, well, Fada, he's caught out no-tail. Stews him back into the stun of Jerix. Can they actually bring down this man? The Raw's out. Loadstorm wants no-tail. They can't kill no-tail at this point, and it's OG turning back in. Buyback from Jerix as he tries to return to the fight. They're going all in on no-tail, but the Grave is there from Fly, buying him some more time. Matuma still trying to work away at the dog and will finally find the kill. Miracle caught out by the Abyssal Blade. They're looking for more. It's a buyback.
Committing with the extra buybacks.
Around with the combo. Jax gets the stun out, but OG now in a great position to continue this fight. The beat down, slap down, 3 dead on Liquid. Mind Control's going to get taken down as well. And now in a position where only Fanta is left standing with that buyback. GG's going to be called. It's all too much. And in a very patient game, it finally got to that point where OG were just able to push it over the edge with